Right now, I want to introduce somebody who's really special to me and to our city. His name is Dr. Ricco Wright. Let me tell you a little bit about him before I bring him forward. Dr. Wright is a Tulsa native. He's the founder and chairman of Black Wall Street Arts. How many people have been there to the gallery so far? All right, maybe a quarter of us, all right. And he's the artistic director of the Black Wall Street Gallery. As a Bill Gates scholar, Dr. Wright earned his bachelor's degree in mathematics from Langston University and has his doctorate in mathematics education from Columbia University. He has taught mathematics at several universities across the country, including Langston University, and has been featured on several media programs, including CNN, NPR, Good Day Tulsa, and others. Dr. Wright is also a poet. He's a writer, and he's had his work published in the Black Wall Street Times, the Calliope Crash, did I pronounce that right? And the Dragon Review. He serves on several boards in the community. He is an activist. He has two daughters, Raquel, who was Miss Black Tulsa 2018, all right, and Rhea. Hey, Dr. Wright, come on up. And I asked him to share a little bit about why he does what he does with us this morning. Great to see you, man. Great to see you. Just jump right up there in the pulpit, right up there.
Good morning. We can do better than that, right, Brother Marlon? Good morning. Okay, that's joyful. Thank you, Brother Marlon, Brother David, Dee Dee, and the entire All Souls family for welcoming me to your space. On my heart this morning is a charge. It's a charge deeply rooted in love, but it's a necessary charge. In our city, we have experienced a great deal of tragedy. It's a tragedy that our city is ashamed of. It's a tragedy that it tries to conceal, to disregard, and to look past. It might also be the reason our city is cursed. And until we address that tragedy, we won't heal. When we attach the word reconciliation to a giant like a John Hope Franklin, we do a disservice to his legacy, to his father, Buck Franklin's legacy. Reconciliation means restoring friendly relations, which presupposes that, for example, Tulsa has created such friendly relations. But I don't know a time, my brothers and sisters, when Tulsa's Black and white communities ever on a macro level created such friendly relations. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had segregation, whereby we have a Greenwood district in the first place. We wouldn't have had a massacre. We wouldn't have had an I-244 splitting through Greenwood, further destroying our beloved community. Nor would we have had promises of urban renewal, which essentially is nothing but urban removal. So today I come before you promoting conciliation, a process to healing, a pathway to love for the betterment of our community. And by conciliation, I'm suggesting mediating between parties at odds. I'm talking acknowledgement, apology, reparation. And speaking of reparations, often I'm asked by my white allies, and I appreciate you all, what can I do to help? My answer to you today is to fix your hearts on reparations. If our city government is not going to avail itself of the opportunity to right its wrongs, then let the citizens of our city do so. And so what do I mean by reparations and what you can do? Well, for one, you can support Black-owned businesses. You can start from this point forward and make it a cardinal sin, if you don't, to go out and support Black-owned businesses. You can also fiscally sponsor Black organizations. And you can get behind Black activists. These are the individuals who have the courage to do something about the atrocities of yesteryear, who recognize that we have a responsibility to our ancestors and to one another to do something. I've chosen the arts, even though my background, Brother Marlon, is mathematics and philosophy, because I've found that it's through the arts that we can truly affect change. It's through the arts that everyone seems to have a voice, but it's also where certain voices need to be amplified. So if you're a person of color, if you're a woman, if you're homosexual, if you're of a different religion than Christianity, you have experienced oppression, you have a voice, and it needs to be amplified. In closing, I want you to accept this charge. I implore you from this point forward to find deep in your heart that love that you know exists there, that resides in a special place. Do something about this history of our great city. Help Tulsa help itself. And lastly, I would say to all of you who have been fighting against this legacy of white supremacy, this legacy of male supremacy, thank you for your courage. Thank you for supporting Black-owned businesses, for speaking your truth, for creating platforms, for granting access to those who haven't had. And if you recognize any privilege that you have and you know you can do something different, start today. Thank you.
All right, so I heard the charge. I hope you heard the charge. Thank you, Dr. Wright. That is what we need to be talking about here in our city as we lead up to the 100th anniversary of the events of 1921. And as Dr. Wright said, there's lots of other events since then. So there's a lot for us to hold, and we're doing that. We're trying to hold that right here with one another and support those on the front lines like Dr. Ricco Wright, the Black Wall Street Gallery, and other businesses and organizations that are trying to make a difference in our world. Let's be a part of it, and let's continue to do that. Thank you for your charge this morning. Let's give him one more round of applause.